If you have a thermostatic mixing valve on your hot water tank and your water is not hot enough from day one, this is not the video that you should be watching. However, I wrote an article on my blog 4 years ago. I will post the link in the description. It's very easy. All you need to do is to adjust the tiny screw on the valve and it will make a huge difference. But today we are not talking about this. 3 months ago there was no hot water in one morning. So I called the hot water tank rental company because I thought the thermostatic mixing valve was part of the rental agreement and they would come to fix it for free. I was wrong. They sent a plumber and charged me 400 Canadian and replaced it with a brand new mixing valve. I got the hot water back, but it was just a nightmare. They flooded my basement. I found that out several days later. It was caused by a tiny leak. The inside of the tank was filled with water. The insulation was wet. I fixed all this mess, everything by myself. Can you freaking believe that? I put all my trust in these professional guys and that's what I got. Really disappointed, eh? After 3 months, there was no hot water again. That's what happened. The hot water pressure was so low and the water was cold. Are you serious? The new valve died in just 3 months? Before fixing the issue, we need to isolate if it is the hot water tank problem or not. We don't want to waste time on fixing the wrong device. First, you check the output temperature of the mixing valve and then check the temperature of the pipe coming out of the hot water tank. If both pipes are cold, it could be a problem with the hot water tank. Check the manual for diagnosis code. No DIY is needed. Now, in my case, I was pretty sure it was the problem with the mixing valve, since the pipe was warm, meaning the hot water tank was working. Okay, let's get started. First, you need to turn off the main shutoff valve in your house. Then, turn on at least one faucet in the basement. Next, go upstairs and turn on another faucet. In my case, I did it in the powder room. You want to let the air in, and that's good enough. Get some paper towel, you'll need a lot of them, and a small container would be useful. Then unscrew them one by one slowly. You don't need to drain the water from the tank or turn off the 120-volt power supply. I mean, if you want to do it, go ahead. I did not. At this point, I want to share a trade secret with you. You have 50% chance of fixing the hot water problem by just reversing the thermostatic mixing valve. Yes, all you have to do is to connect the hot to cold and cold to hot. Now, turn everything back on. See, it fixed the water pressure problem, but there is still no hot water. Because we have reversed the valve, we need to do some adjustment. You turn that mixing screw and try your luck. Use a black Sharpie to mark the position, so you know how many turns you have. This may actually fix your problem and save you time and money. This has been proven to work at my parents' house, but not mine. Unfortunately, it didn't work for me. I was so pissed off. So, what do? I guess you know the answer. That's right, I am bypassing the stupid thermostatic mixing valve. Since I have all the PAX tools, it wasn't too difficult for me. I am installing the elbow here to connect the hot water tank to the rest of the hose. The clamping tool comes with this mini tool for you to check if the installation is good or not. Next, I installed the plugs on the thermostatic mixing valve. That was pretty easy. This is the quickest way to do the bypass without soldering. And the bypass is completed. Check the thermostat on the water heater. In my case, there are A, B, and C settings. But these are just for reference. It's not 100% accurate. You need to test your hot water temperature to make sure it is at least 140 Fahrenheit. In my case, I got 150. Why is 140 Fahrenheit so important? It's because of a fatal disease called Legionella. You can find a lot of information on the internet. If you set the water temperature too low on the water tank, your whole family is at risk. You can die. In order to kill this bacteria, you need to keep the hot water tank super hot. Now you can kind of understand why we have this thermostatic mixing valve. Let's take a look at the Wikipedia to confirm you need 140 Fahrenheit to kill Legionella in 30 minutes. But when I look into Government of Canada's website, I got mixed information. They said 120 Fahrenheit is good enough. Maybe it's wrong information or it is alternative facts. I don't know. You may ask, instead of cutting the packs, why can't you buy a male NPT plug from the hardware store? I tried. Let me show you. This is 1.5 inches outside diameter. According to the NPT chart, there is 1.3 and 1.6 inches, but there is no 1.5 inches. If you can find one, let me know. Make sure that is lead-free. You may also want to ask, why not desolder the copper and plug it? Technically, yes, it is possible, but you have to consider two things. First, when it's time for hot water tank replacement, the company may refuse to do it because of code violation. The second reason is that it may not pass the inspection if you are selling the house one day. I have this crazy idea that I want to share with you. No soldering and no need to cut any packs. This is the diagram. On the left hand side is the original design. On the right hand side is my idea. All you want to do is to get everything inside of the valve. Then put a piece of rubber or metal to block the cold water from going inside. Then the hot water always gets past. To do this, I believe you can open it from here. Then remove everything from inside. Use a Dremel tool to cut the rod or do whatever you need to do. I have not done it yet, but I just give you an idea. Generally, I love building code because standard is good for safety. But I seriously have problem with this particular one because I think it's stupid. Hot water is hot water. It has been hot for decades. The thermostatic mixing valve is good for elderly or disabled people, but it should be optional, not mandatory. We are trying to bubble wrap our kids too much. If you travel outside of North America, expect your kids to get burned in the hotel, okay? So stupid. Finally, I was trying to eliminate one potential point of failure. Why not? No more mixing valve problem. Do it once and forget it. Of course, if you religiously follow the building code and don't want to pay the plumber, you can always go to Amazon to buy the thermostatic mixing valve. This one is shock bite, even easier.
Baby shark, baby shark,
Make sure that you're buying the right size. Usually they are either 1/2 inch or 3/4. The left-hand side is Amazon.com in the States and the right-hand side is Canadian. Look at the price difference. Even with exchange rate, Canadian always got ripped off. Oh well, just make sure that you're buying a couple of them, because they don't last very long. Good luck! My goal is to inspire more people into DIY, and don't underestimate yourself. You can do it. I hope this video helps you to fix your hot water problem. If you think this is helpful, give it a thumbs up and remember to subscribe. If you loved DIY, remember to check out other videos on my channel too. I am pretty sure you will find them interesting. Thanks for watching and see you next time.